Our today's topic is supply function. What is supply function? Supply function establishes relationship between quantity of good supplied and the factor that affect supply, a factor that influence supply. One of the factors that affect supply is what? Price of goods. Higher price, higher quantity supplied. Ceteris paribus. And the lower price, lower quantity supplied. Ceteris paribus. Another one is cost of production. An increase in the cost of production leads to a decrease in quantity supplied. And a decrease in the cost of production leads to an increase in quantity supplied. That is, that is to say, when cost of production when cost of production increases, a producer or a manufacturer is likely to supply less because of increase in the cost of production. Cost of production because of increase in the cost of production. But when there is a decrease in the cost of production, a producer or a manufacturer is likely to supply less because of decrease in the cost of production. Because of decrease in the cost of production, the producer, the manufacturer is likely to supply more in order to maximize profit of a profit motive. But increase in the cost of production leads to a decrease in quantity supply. Another one is number of sellers, in the market. Number of sellers in the market or number of producers. Number of sellers in the market number of sellers in the market or number of producers in the market. An increase in the number of sellers in the market leads to an increase in quantity supplied. And a decrease in the number of sellers in the market leads to a decrease in quantity supplied. That is to say, when there is an increase in the number of sellers in the market, a manufacturer is likely to supply more to the market for profit motive. But when there is a decrease in the number of sellers in the market, the producer is likely to supply less. We have other factors that affect supply or that influence supply. 2S equals function. Quantity supply is the function of P, PR, CP, and etc. We have other factors that are affecting supply. P is for price. PR is for price relative. CP is for cost of production, while N is for number of sellers in the market or number of producers in the market. I want you to understand this supply function is giving us supply function QS is equal to A plus BP. This is supply function. QS is for quantity supply. A is for what? Autonomous supply. Autonomous supply. What is autonomous supply? Autonomous supply is a quantity of goods or service the producer is willing to supply regardless of current market price. Autonomous supply. Autonomous supply. Regardless of my current market price, regardless, the producer must supply, a manufacturer must supply, regardless. That's the meaning of autonomous supply. It can be called exogenous factors, exogenous factors are constant variable. Autonomous supply can be called exogenous factors or constant variable. It's quantity of goods or service the producer is willing to supply regardless of current market price. That is the meaning of autonomous supply. Then plus sign here is telling us that quantity supply and price has direct relationship. Quantity supply and price have direct relationship. B is for slope, a supply curve. Slope, that is for B. It's telling us about the law of supply. Higher price, higher quantity supply. Ceteris paribus. Lower price, lower quantity supply. That is when price goes up, quantity supply goes up. And when price goes down, quantity supplied goes down. That's the meaning of B. It's for slope. Then P is for price. P is for price. Supply function is given as QS equals A plus BP. Quantity supply is a function of P, PR, CP, N, etc. We have other factors that are affecting supply. This is the end of our today's episode. Never forget to follow me on my YouTube channel. Bye.